You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning, shuffle to the bathroom, and reach for your toothbrush out of habit? It's something we've all done for decades without thinking twice. But what if I told you that when you brush your teeth could be the difference between a healthy heart and a silent, ticking time bomb in your chest? That's right. For years, doctors have been warning us about cholesterol, blood pressure, and exercise, but hardly anyone talks about the shocking connection between your oral health and your heart. And if you're over 60, this isn't just a minor detail, it could be a matter of life and death. So today, we're going to talk about something simple, something you do every day, but something you might be doing completely wrong: brushing your teeth. Because science now shows that brushing at the wrong time of day could be putting you at risk for heart attacks, strokes, and even dementia. And if you're someone who deals with aches, pains, or fatigue, this could be the missing link you've been ignoring. Hi, I'm Betty and I'm so happy you're joining me today. Before we dive into today's important topic, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and comment below telling me where you're watching from. I love connecting with all of you from around the world, so now let's begin. Now, I know what you might be thinking: how on earth can brushing my teeth affect my heart? Well, it all comes down to something called oral bacteria, tiny, invisible invaders that don't just stay in your mouth. They sneak into your bloodstream, travel through your body, and wreak havoc where you'd least expect it. And if you're brushing at the wrong time, you're basically giving these bacteria a free pass to attack your heart. So let's start with the most dangerous time to brush, a time when millions of seniors are unknowingly putting themselves at risk. The nighttime brush, your heart's secret lifesaver. If you're like most people, you probably brush your teeth in the morning after breakfast, maybe after lunch, and then again before bed. But here's the problem: one of those brushing sessions is far more important than the others. And if you skip it, or do it at the wrong time, you're playing with fire. Research from the American Heart Association found that people who don't brush properly at night have a 45% higher risk of heart disease. 45%. That's not some small number, that's nearly half of your heart health being decided by when you scrub those pearly whites. Why? Because while you sleep, your mouth becomes a breeding ground for bacteria. Saliva production slows down, which means your natural defense against germs weakens. And if you've left food particles, sugar, or plaque on your teeth, those bacteria multiply exponentially overnight. By morning, they've not only caused bad breath and gum disease, they've also started leaking into your bloodstream, triggering inflammation that damages your arteries. But here's the good news: you can stop this. And it's not hard. The golden rule is this: brush your teeth right before bed, not after dinner, not an hour before, but right as you're about to turn out the lights. This ensures that your mouth is as clean as possible before that 8-hour bacterial free-for-all begins. And if you really want to protect your heart, there's one more thing you should add to your nighttime routine, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Now, let's talk about the second most important brushing session, the morning. But here's where most seniors get it dead wrong. Do you brush your teeth before breakfast or after? If you said after, you might be doing more harm than good. Here's why: when you eat, especially sugary or acidic foods, like orange juice or toast with jam, your tooth enamel softens. If you brush right after eating, you're actually scrubbing away that weakened enamel, leaving your teeth vulnerable to decay. And once your enamel is gone, it's gone for good. But there's another problem: waiting too long. If you eat breakfast and then wait an hour to brush, those food particles are sitting there, feeding bacteria that will eventually sneak into your bloodstream. So what's the solution? Brush immediately when you wake up, before breakfast. This removes the bacteria that built up overnight before they get a chance to mix with your food and cause trouble. Then, if you want to freshen up after eating, simply rinse with water or an alcohol-free mouthwash. This one small change can make a huge difference in protecting both your teeth and your heart. Now, before we move on, there's one more critical habit that could be sabotaging your heart health, and it has nothing to do with when you brush, but how. So let's talk about the right way to brush to keep those dangerous bacteria at bay. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. It's not just when you brush, but how you brush that could be putting your heart at risk. Because if you're still scrubbing your teeth the way you did 30 years ago, you might be doing more harm than good. You see, most of us were taught to brush hard, back and forth, like we're scrubbing a stubborn stain. But here's the shocking truth: brushing too aggressively can actually increase your risk of heart problems. How? By damaging your gums and creating tiny openings for bacteria to enter your bloodstream. And once those bacteria get in, they trigger inflammation, the same inflammation that leads to clogged arteries and heart attacks. So let's fix that right now. First, your toothbrush matters more than you think. If you're using a hard bristled brush, stop immediately. Those stiff bristles might feel like they're cleaning better, but they're actually scraping away your gum tissue, little by little, every single day. Instead, switch to a soft bristled brush. It cleans just as effectively without the damage. Next, angle your brush at 45 degrees toward your gum line. Why? Because that's where plaque hides, right where your teeth meet your gums. Use gentle, circular motions instead of harsh back and forth scrubbing. Imagine you're massaging your gums rather than scouring a pot. This simple change can reduce gum recession and keep harmful bacteria from sneaking into your bloodstream. And here's a tip you probably haven't heard: don't rinse your mouth with water after brushing. I know it feels natural to swish and spit, but when you do that, you're actually washing away the protective fluoride in your toothpaste, the very thing that helps strengthen your enamel and fight bacteria. Instead, just spit out the excess toothpaste and let the rest sit on your teeth. It might feel strange at first, but your heart will thank you. The hidden danger of bleeding gums. Now, let's talk about something alarming. If your gums bleed when you brush or floss, that's not normal, no matter what you've been told. Bleeding gums are a red flag, literally, that harmful bacteria are attacking your gum tissue. And here's where it gets scary: those same bacteria can travel straight to your heart. Studies have found that people with gum disease are 2 to 3 times more likely to suffer a heart attack or stroke. Why? Because the bacteria from infected gums enter your bloodstream, latch onto fatty plaques in your arteries, and worsen inflammation. Over time, this can lead to blockages, the kind that cause heart attacks. So what should you do if your gums bleed? Don't avoid brushing, improve it. Switch to a toothpaste with stannous fluoride, look for it on the label, which helps reduce gum inflammation. And start flossing gently every night, yes, even if it bleeds at first. After a week or 2 of proper care, the bleeding should stop as your gums heal. The one tool your dentist isn't telling you about. If you really want to protect your heart, there's one simple tool that most seniors overlook: a water flosser. Now, I'm not talking about those fancy, expensive models you see on TV. A basic, affordable water flosser can do wonders for cleaning between teeth and below the gum line, where regular floss and brushing often miss. Why does this matter? Because the bacteria hiding in those deep pockets are the most dangerous. They're the ones most likely to enter your bloodstream and cause trouble. Using a water flosser for just 1 minute a day can reduce those bacteria by 50% or more. That's a huge win for your heart. Now, before we wrap up, there's one last piece of the puzzle: something you eat every day that could be undoing all your good brushing habits. And if you're over 60, this could be the biggest threat to your heart health that no one's talking about. Let's talk about something that might shock you. No matter how perfectly you brush your teeth, there's one sneaky habit that could be sabotaging your heart health every single day. And chances are, you've been told this habit is completely harmless. I'm talking about mouthwash. That's right, that minty fresh rinse you've been using for years could actually be increasing your risk of heart problems. Studies show that alcohol-based mouthwashes kill the good bacteria in your mouth, the ones that help regulate blood pressure and reduce inflammation. When these protective bacteria are wiped out, the bad bacteria thrive, and your heart pays the price. But mouthwash isn't the only hidden danger. There's something even more surprising lurking in your diet, something you probably eat every morning without realizing how it's affecting your heart. The breakfast food that's feeding heart attack bacteria. If you start your day with a glass of orange juice, toast with jam, or a sugary cereal, listen closely. Sugar isn't just bad for your teeth, it's a feast for the bacteria that cause gum disease and heart inflammation. Here's how it works. When you eat sugar, the harmful bacteria in your mouth thrive. They multiply rapidly, creating acids that erode your enamel and inflame your gums. But it doesn't stop there. Those bacteria then produce toxins that enter your bloodstream, triggering chronic inflammation in your arteries. Over time, this leads to plaque buildup, high blood pressure, and a higher risk of heart attacks. So what's the solution? Swap your sugary breakfast for heart-healthy alternatives. Instead of orange juice, try green tea. It reduces gum inflammation and improves circulation. Instead of white toast with jam, choose whole grain bread with almond butter. It's packed with vitamin E, which helps heal gums. If you crave something sweet, reach for a handful of berries. They're loaded with antioxidants that fight oral bacteria. The 60-second trick to supercharge your oral and heart health. Now, I want to share a simple trick that takes less than a minute but can make a massive difference for your heart. It's called oil pulling, and it's been used for centuries to detoxify the mouth and reduce harmful bacteria. Here's how to do it. First thing in the morning, before eating or drinking, take 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and swish it around your mouth for 15 to 20 minutes. Yes, it sounds like a long time, but you can do it while showering or getting dressed. As you swish, the oil binds to bacteria, plaque, and toxins, pulling them out of your gums and teeth. After 20 minutes, spit it out, don't swallow, and rinse with warm water. Studies show that oil pulling can reduce harmful oral bacteria by up to 50%, which means less inflammation, healthier gums, and a happier heart. And the best part? It's completely natural, cheap, and easy to do at home. Before we wrap up, let's quickly recap the most important steps to protect your teeth and your heart. Brush at the right times, right before bed and first thing in the morning, before breakfast. Use a soft bristled brush and gentle, circular motions to avoid gum damage. Don't rinse after brushing, let the fluoride keep working. Floss daily, or use a water flosser, to remove hidden bacteria. Ditch alcohol-based mouthwash, opt for an antibacterial rinse without alcohol. Cut back on sugar, especially in the morning. Try oil pulling a few times a week to detoxify your mouth. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't worry, you don't have to change everything overnight. Start with one new habit this week, maybe switching to a softer toothbrush or cutting out sugary breakfasts. Then, add another next week. Small changes add up to big results over time. And remember, your mouth isn't just the gateway to your body, it's the gateway to your heart. By taking care of your oral health, you're not just preserving your smile, you're protecting your life. So tell me in the comments, which of these tips will you try first? Have you noticed a connection between your dental health and your heart? I'd love to hear your stories. And if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more simple, life-changing health tips. Because you deserve to live your healthiest, happiest life at any age. Here's to a stronger heart and a brighter smile.